Hello everyone, this is Vern's talk show, and I'm on maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, and I have guests from assisted living and around place around town here to interview them and see what their place, what they give out towards the people when they're living there. And so I would like to have you introduce yourself.
Well, thank you, Vern, for inviting us. I'm Anita Whetstone. I am a local Nakusa, Wisconsin Rapids girl, and I'm the owner of the Hilltop facilities in Wisconsin Rapids.
Oh, okay.
And my name is Mystique McCumber. I do community relations for Hilltop, and I've been doing that for about 2.5 years.
Oh, yeah. Well, getting a good start.
Yes,
I mean, you know,
absolutely.
You gotta start somewhere, right?
That's right.
Well, sure you do. Okay, now, what I really want to know is what do you do for these for Hilltop in the home there?
Sure. Well, Hilltop is a group of 5 assisted living facilities. So we have 5 different facilities, and that serves 5 different client groups. And we can talk a little more specifically about each one of our facilities. But when we started out, it was more traditional assisted living, and now we specialize a little bit more. So we have Hilltop of Pepper, which is our memory care facility.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where we take care of people with Alzheimer's and other dementia,
Oh, sure.
and people who need a lot of assistance with their daily living.
Some of them they probably need more, imagine, don't they? Or,
That's right.
you know, it all depends on what shape they're in, whatever, you know.
Yes. But if they need a lot of care, then that's probably the best place for them to be, because we have caregiving staff who are able to help them with everything that they might need at that facility.
Oh, yeah.
You know, all of our facilities are staffed 24 hours a day with care staff. You know, Vern, I've been doing this is our 23rd year, and 23 years ago, it all started because my mother needed Alzheimer's care. She was living in her own home, and it became no longer safe.
Oh, sure.
And so I started becoming her caregiver, and it started the nucleus of a little home and a little business, and I started taking care of other people, and it just grew into another home and another home and another home over the years. So this is our 23rd year of providing care.
It was just in, you know, to get started.
Yes.
Sure, that's a good thing, you know, that we have people like you to take care of, you know, them people.
Yes.
Because some of them probably need more care, and then what the other ones do, imagine, I don't know, you know. And I get to play in a lot of homes like that. Up at Plover, I got 3 or 4 of them up there. I play music in, and some of them they're a little bit more difficult to take care of, you know. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but I mean, it takes more to take care of them, put it that way.
Yes, some people definitely need more care, more help with all of, we call them activities of daily living, but it's all the things that you need to do. Get up in the morning and get dressed, maybe brush your teeth or get a shower. Those are all things that we can help people with when maybe they aren't physically or mentally able, because Alzheimer's, of course, affects your brain.
Well, yes.
And you actually forget how to do things like brush your teeth.
Right. And then knowing people, and, you know, some of their relation comes in or that they don't know them.
Right.
At times, I mean, the times they do. I've been around, I tell you. I know what it all is, and I feel sorry for them people, really do. And boy, I tell you, it takes people like you to keep it going. Keep them going, you know.
Well, absolutely. We care very much for those that have the dementia and the Alzheimer's, but our other care facilities, we care for people in a varied amount of care needs. You know, some are physically disabled, and some have a cognitive ability that they really can't understand or speak as much, but it might not be a dementia. They just need communication help.
Oh, sure.
So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They need a little help, you know. Like you say, you need a little boost.
Yes.
You know, boost them up a little bit, yeah. But I know I've been around in assisted livings and that, and I talked to a lot of people and that, and you know, they got it up here. Some of them have.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
I tell you, you know, they're pretty alert,
Yes.
the way I'm going to put it. I mean, you know, well, I tell you, you got to be sharp right with them. I mean,
Oh, yes.
you know, and some of them, well, it all depends on what shape they're in. I mean, they kind of lose it a little bit, I suppose, or, you know, well.
Well, it's so educational and enlightening to
Right.
be able to talk to somebody who has all these years of their life experience,
Oh,
you know,
sure.
both in their work and in their home and
Oh,
in their
sure.
families, and
Oh, sure.
some of the heartwarming stories that we've heard over the
Oh,
years.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are-
I hear a lot of them, you know.
Yes.
You bet you do.
Yes.
But you can't remember them all. That's a big part of it.
Sure.
But, I mean, you know, a lot of it you can remember, you know. And they get their eats there, their food
Yes,
there?
yes, the meals are provided, yes.
Okay.
Yes, when a person moves in, they can bring their own furniture if they'd like, or we can furnish the rooms in the apartments. That's
Oh.
up to the individual.
Oh, sure.
But yes, the meals are there. We have a chef that prepares all of our meals, and meals and snacks, and of course, any assistance you need, from maybe not needing any at all to full care, how can I say it? Somebody who needs full care, who might need help being fed. Maybe they need help going to the restroom.
Oh, sure.
You know, they need help bathing. We can provide all of that,
Oh, sure.
right through the end stages, right through hospice
Oh,
care.
sure.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, I used to go to the Strawberry Lane quite a bit. I played music there quite a bit, you know.
yes.
And I got to know this young gal. Her name is Patty. She was in a wheelchair, and she couldn't feed herself, you know. So I went over there and talked with her all the time. You know, she really was happy. You know, that somebody would come and talk to her, you know, and wheel her around, you know. And so I was feeding her that one day, and the gal come up to me. She says, she's the one that was feeding them. She says, you know how to feed these people? I said, well, yeah. I says, well, she said, you know, she says, you have to go to school for that. I said, you do? Oh, okay. I says, well, I said, I can tell you something. You know, I says, I raised babies. I says, from small on up. I says, gave them their bottles. And I says, I don't think there's too much left for you to teach me. Really. I mean, you know,
Sure.
I don't want to be smart about it or anything else like that. But they won't let me feed her. She
It-
said, no.
it
And
might
I don't
have-
know if that's the same with yous here or not. I don't know.
Nursing homes are different than assisted living in that they have to follow different regulations.
I imagine, yeah.
The state requires certain things of a nursing
Okay.
facility
Okay.
and certain things from an assisted living facility.
sure.
And so there are definitely differences, and I can't really speak to them.
Oh, yeah.
Our caregiving staff do receive training
Oh, sure.
and ongoing training
Oh, yeah.
so that, you know, that they're giving proper care to people and that they're learning about things like Alzheimer's and dementia.
Right.
And how to work with people, how to communicate better with them. Those are all things that they have ongoing training with. Every year we are required by the state to do additional training with
Well,
our
not
staff.
Like Alzheimer's and dementia. Now, that's two different things, isn't it?
Right.
I mean, you know.
Dementia is kind of the umbrella.
Right.
And then there are many different kinds of dementia. Alzheimer's is the most prevalent form of dementia under that umbrella. And there are other different kinds of dementia, but most people are familiar with Alzheimer's because
Oh, sure.
it's the most prevalent.
Uh-huh.
When people speak about dementia, if you think of it and you want a definition of dementia, it means memory loss and confusion. So then you say, well, what is causing the memory loss and
Oh, sure.
confusion? Sometimes it's Alzheimer's, sometimes it's Lewy body disease, it can be Parkinson's dementia. You can get dementia from strokes and other medical conditions. But some people think that dementia is a disease, and it's the other diseases that cause your memory loss and dementia.
Oh, I see.
But of course, a lot of our seniors in Wisconsin Rapids don't suffer from any type of memory loss and dementia. A lot of them just need some help with their daily living, like Mystique said, getting up in the morning, getting your bath, getting dressed, getting your breakfast, coming out to the activities.
Oh, sure.
You know, we really encourage all of our members to come down to the common areas and join in our activities for the day and go on outings and really enrich their life. There's a lot going on in our facilities for people to take part in.
Oh, sure. Yeah, imagine there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We try and make them as much like home as we can.
Right, yeah.
Because it really does become that person's home when they come
Well,
to
yes,
stay
it
with
does.
us.
It
You know,
does.
this is their home now.
Yeah.
They may not always remember that, but we try and make them feel like they're at home.
Yeah.
And for people who live at our newest facility, Hilltop Grand Village, they have private apartments.
Oh,
So it
sure.
really is their own home.
Well, yeah.
They can come and go as they please. They have their own kitchen. They have all of their own things there to make it their home. But then we also offer a lot of common areas and a lot of activities and things for them to come
Oh,
and be
sure.
part of a bigger community. So it's really like living in a little village, which is why we call it that, Hilltop Grand Village.
Yeah.
Now, the Hilltop Grand Village, most people probably know, but it's the large white assisted living just north of Home Depot.
Oh.
So right on 54. If you're going toward Stevens Point or going toward the doctor's clinics, you're passing right by the Hilltop Grand Village.
Oh,
And in that is our newest facility, and as Mystique said, those are full apartments. They have full-size kitchens with refrigerators
Oh.
and dishwashers and washers and dryers and ranges. So it's not just one room, you're renting a whole apartment. But the really
Oh,
neat
I
thing
see.
is, if you need help with your cares, our aides are right there and able to knock on your door and help you with whatever assistance you need.
Oh, sure.
Some people might move in and not need any help at all, but they're getting themselves set up and they're saying, you know, someday I may decline and I may need somebody to come in and help me with these things. So they move in and they pick out their new apartment and they're getting all set up for their
sure.
golden years. But that's what sets Hilltop Grand Village apart from my other facilities, is that these are full apartments. It's not just a
Oh,
room.
I see. Okay. Just like home.
It's just like home.
Yes.
Just like home, yeah.
In fact, some of our members there will say that, you know, this is home now, because they have all of their things there and they've settled in and they really like the space that they're in.
Well,
Sometimes it's a big challenge for people to leave the home that maybe they've
yes.
lived in for 30, 40, 50 years where they raised their
yes.
kids. But at some point, maybe that house gets too big and the upkeep is too much. You can't shovel the snow or mow the grass.
Right.
You're hiring somebody or you're asking the kids to come and help with that.
Yeah.
So maybe it makes sense to downsize, and instead of just moving to an apartment, you can come here where then you also have that option of care,
Right. Yeah.
whether you need it now or down the road.
See, we're getting up to that too right now. The wife and I are, you know, that sometimes you need some help,
Right.
quite a bit of help. And I tell you, you know, when you get older, you know, I'm in the 80s, and I tell you, it ain't back when you're in the 40s. that I can assure you.
Yes.
You know, but I feel good. I mean, you know, I check on the doctors. They keep good tab of me, and that's all I ask for. I mean, you know, they're real good to me.
Sure.
And I had all my stuff up at Marshall, and and I just keep on going there. That's the best result I ever get from them.
That's right.
That's
And
wonderful.
I don't go no place else.
Well, it's important to have that relationship with your provider, wherever they happen to work or, you know, whichever facility. But, you know, that's important to people, is to be able to get, to go and see their doctors
Yeah.
and,
Well, see, the doctors, they get to know you,
Yes.
and you get to know them. And the ones that I got to know, they're retired.
well, that happens sometimes. Then you have to find a new one and start over, but,
you know, they're all good. I mean, you know, I think they are. You know, I had good results on them, very good.
Sure.
And I feel real good. I mean, I do things. I cut my own lawn yet.
That's wonderful.
You know, I got a big rider, jump on that thing away I go. You know.
That's great. Well, being active is still a very big part
Well,
of
that-
staying young.
That is a big part of it, because
Yes.
if you're going to sit all the time, you know what? you're gonna stiffen up so bad you ain't gonna move.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, I'm finding it out now. I injured my hip here, you know, and boy, I tell you, you can't move around so good, you know. When you sit down and get comfortable, you like to sit, you know. And you shouldn't. You should get
You
up.
should
and
get
move
up and
around.
move, that's right.
Right.
But if you keep moving, then your joints stay more limber.
Right.
At the Hilltop Grand Village, we have a swimming pool, and
okay.
some of the members go in there just for water exercise, even if they're not actually swimming laps, they're in there exercising. And the water helps support your joints and your muscles, so it's
yeah,
a
it does,
very
yeah.
safe way to
yeah.
exercise. We also have a little, it's a fitness center. It's like a little workout room, and there's treadmill and bicycles, and there's even some little weights, and you know, an elliptical machine that people can get in. And even if you're just working yourself slowly, you're still moving those joints,
Oh,
and
sure.
your heart rate comes up, and all those things
Yeah.
help keep you healthy.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I love it when I see the members go in there and they're pedaling their bike, or they're doing the
yeah.
exercise class in the pool.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
really nice for them.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
As you get older, it's important to stay active, mentally and
Right,
physically.
right.
So you need that social interaction. You need to be talking to people and you know, being able to have conversations. You need to stay physically active, and you need to, you know, be healthy in what you eat.
Right.
And sometimes when people get older and they're living alone, maybe their spouse is gone, and so they don't have to cook really anymore.
Oh,
So
sure.
maybe they don't eat as well, and maybe they don't drive anymore, so they don't get out to church or to the grocery store
Right.
as much. So you start to decline that way because you don't have a reason to get out and about. And then that can sometimes trigger a mental decline as
Oh,
well.
sure.
So it's really important to have that
yeah.
stimulation all the
Oh,
time,
sure.
which is nice then for something like Hilltop Grand Village, where you've got, it's all right there.
Oh,
You
sure.
can stay in your apartment and do whatever you need to do there,
Oh, sure.
but there are other people to come out and talk to. If you come out for a meal, if you go down to a class, if you, you know, come to our social hour in the pub, and, you know, we'll watch the Packers game and, you know, have some snacks and sodas. You know, it's those kinds of things that really make a difference for people,
sure. Yeah, they do.
especially, you know, in that older population when they maybe aren't getting that social aspect or that physical aspect.
We have a couple life enrichment, or people call them activity directors, that work for us. And they schedule things to do. We're going to be having a painting class in September taught by a retired art teacher. But they also do things, as Mystique mentioned, the social hour in the pub. I mean, some of us in your days like to go to a happy hour, and we can still provide that.
Oh, sure.
And we tell people, if you're no longer drinking alcohol, that's okay. Have a cup of coffee, have a soda, have a glass of water, but
Right.
come down and socialize.
Yeah.
That's the fun part of it. We also have a little movie theater right
Oh, sure.
inside the building that you can come down. We show movies a couple times a week. It's also a room that our members can rent, not
sure.
rent, they can, I'm sorry, reserve it. There's no charge for it. They reserve it. They might say, like, oh, my son and my grandson are coming over Friday night. I'd like to reserve that movie theater, and then they'll pick out a movie, and it's just their own little family watching the
sure.
movie
Yeah,
in the
right.
theater. Again, it's just such a nice social thing to do. We don't, you know, I don't like the idea of somebody sitting all alone in their apartment or their home somewhere and not getting visitors and not having any friends and
Right.
people to interact with. So we've really tried to provide that at the Grand Village, saying, come down and watch a movie, come down to happy hour, come to the pool exercise class. We also have a spa, so if somebody wants to, they can get a massage. We also have a whirlpool that you can sit in at your leisure, and that always feels good. And we have a salon and a barber shop. Again, you can, some people are still driving and they like to go downtown to the barber shop, but if
sure.
you're not driving, all you have to do is walk from your apartment, stay all indoors, and right there is the barber shop.
Yeah.
So it's just all those nice things, a nice
sure.
long corridor to walk in and get your exercise. So
Oh, yeah.
we're really trying to keep people active and healthy and enjoying life.
Yeah. Well, now, like all these, what you got here, they all operate on the same thing, right? I mean, you know, like your feeding them and
Yes,
and
absolutely.
activities.
Absolutely.
And do you have any music?
Yes.
Oh, you have music.
You need to come in and play for us too, though.
I'll be happy to. I'll be happy to.
We do. We have one gentleman who's been playing piano with us for years. He's been to a number of our different facilities,
Oh,
and
sure.
he still comes twice a month to perform for us. We have someone who comes in and does a sing-along with us
Oh, sure.
at a couple of our facilities. We have some other people who come in and play different instruments and piano. They really like the pianos, and we do have pianos at
Oh, yeah.
3, 4 of our facilities, I
Yes.
think.
Oh, sure.
You know, so we do have different people who come in and do that, but we're always looking for others. Music is one of those things that you never lose. You never lose an appreciation for music, even if you are at our memory care facility. They love the old time songs. They love
Oh,
the
yeah,
polka
they-
music. When the
yeah.
honeybees come in and play, they're
sure.
popular at all of our
Oh, yeah.
facilities.
Oh, sure.
But it's, you know, again, it's a social kind of thing. It gets you out, it triggers some memories, it
Oh,
makes
sure.
you smile. It's happy
yeah.
music.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Some of our members that live there have, when their children or their grandchildren come to visit, then
Oh,
they'll
sure.
say, well, you know, he or she plays piano, would it be okay if they go down? And then as soon as the piano starts, then you see the people coming out and gathering around and wanting to listen to it and maybe sing along. It's,
Oh, yeah. A lot of them, you know, they like You Are My Sunshine.
Yes.
They like
Yes.
that song. Oh, boy.
Yes.
I know when I go and play, I played every time I go over there at homes and that. Boy, they're right in there singing.
They are, yes.
They really are. So I take the microphone, I go around, you know.
oh, yes.
They really like that.
Each one gets to be a star.
Yeah, each one gets to be a star. I mean,
Yes.
you know, they
Yes.
just happy as can be, you know. Oh, yeah.
Oh, music is a wonderful thing.
Yes, it is.
When I've heard some experts on Alzheimer's talk, they always
sure.
say that you keep music and you keep prayer, that those are deep within your brain and that those are things that you don't lose, that it's kind of in a protected area. So even in your final stages, you can still appreciate those songs that you learned when you were young or those prayers that you learned.
Oh, sure.
So people even in later on in Alzheimer's can still recite the Lord's Prayer with you when you
Oh,
start
yeah.
it.
Yes, and sing along with songs, yes.
Yeah, but they gotta start ahead though. I mean, start in and then they'll follow
Yes.
you.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, they
Yes.
follow you,
Yeah.
yeah. And you'll be surprised the ones that know all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you'll be always surprised. I know I was surprised too, you know, walking in the places, you know, and they have somebody singing or whatever, and they sing the songs that they heard years ago and that, and they remember that.
That's right.
And they start writing and singing right along with them.
That's right.
And a lot of them, they got good voices now, let me tell you.
do. Mhm.
Very good.
Yes. Everybody has different talents and different
Yeah.
gifts.
Oh,
And
sure.
it's nice when they're able to share them that
Oh,
way too.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Vern, we've been talking so much about the Grand Village, and I don't want to neglect to talk about, you have the list here of our facilities. Maybe we
Yeah.
could just tell a little bit about each one and
Oh,
why
sure,
it's
sure, you can.
individually special and what type of members and residents
Oh, yeah,
live there.
oh, sure.
The Hilltop of Pepper, of course, we named that so people would know it's on Pepper Avenue. It's
Right.
just kitty corner from Ace Hardware. We've been there almost 20 years. It's the memory care facility. It's
Sure.
the one we talk about when we say we care for people with Alzheimer's or other types of dementia. That facility, you know, people have a private room and private bathrooms in some. Yes, all of their meals are provided.
Sure.
Things like all of their assistance, again, whether they need help going to the restroom, whether they need help feeding and eating, help with their activities of doing a social event. We provide transportation to their doctor's appointments and dentist appointments and things like that.
Sure.
We have a little, it is a fenced-in courtyard on the back side of the building. Most people can't see it because it's on the back side, but it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
truly secure area with tables and umbrellas and a garden. And it's an area where the residents can come and go freely, but nobody has to worry that they're going to, as most people use the word, wander away or elope. That means to leave the building and be lost in the city.
Right, right.
So it's a way that they can be outdoors or indoors without being of course, locked in. Of course, our facility is not a locked facility.
Oh, yeah.
So at the Hilltop of Pepper, we do take care of all types of male and female members that have loss of memory, that have dementia, that have confusion, and that's the facility
Oh, sure.
on Pepper Avenue.
Oh, yeah.
The Hilltop Estate is out on Highway 73, kind of going toward Nakusa. I grew up in that area, and that home serves people that are not necessarily very, very elderly. They're still able to walk around by themselves. They're still able to engage in
sure.
more activities. Some of them are still working in the community,
Oh, yeah.
but this is their home, and it's a country setting. We even have horses there. Now, our members don't ride the horses, but they like to pet them, and they like to
sure.
make sure, that they have water to drink and that the
sure.
hay is out. So it's, pets bring a sense of calm,
Yeah.
even large pets like the horses, and we've had a golden retriever there. So it's that nice country home for people that are a little younger, but still need some help, that still
Oh, yeah.
are unable to live all by themselves.
Oh, sure.
So go ahead and talk about Alpine.
Well, Alpine Terrace is a little more traditional assisted living. When you think of assisted living, that's kind of what that facility is.
Okay.
So we take care of people who need some care, but maybe not as much care as at Pepper. Maybe they have a little bit of memory impairment, but not so much that they need a greater level of care. We do have people there with maybe some physical disabilities who need help getting into and out of a
Oh, sure.
wheelchair or into and out of bed. But they are able to, as you were saying before, some of them are pretty with it, and they're able to
Oh, yeah,
hold a good
yeah.
conversation with
Oh,
you.
yeah.
But they just need some help. So, and again, we're able to help with everything that they might need, including giving them medications at whatever time of the day that they might need. Even people who maybe need insulin injections, we're able to
Yeah.
do that. We're able to help with, getting them up and getting dressed, and again, all of those activities.
Sure.
At Alpine, we have an outdoor patio area and a little, a grassy yard that we share with our other facility, which is, they're on the same property, but they're on different streets, so the addresses are
sure.
different.
Oh, yeah.
And so then the smallest of our facilities is Ravenwood. And again, that serves people who are maybe a little bit younger, but have some physical disabilities
Oh, yeah.
or developmental disabilities.
Oh,
So
sure.
they need some care, but maybe they don't need the same level as we provide at Pepper.
Right, right.
Yeah, at the Ravenwood, we care for people who sometimes are in transition and then need to learn their life skills.
Right.
Learn things like, how do I cook? How do I budget? How do I go apply for a job? Again, they need a place where they have some supervision and some support,
Oh,
and
sure.
somebody to talk to and somebody to guide them in their next step of life.
Right.
So it's a very small facility. It's called a 4-bed. That means there's 4 bedrooms there. But it's that nice, intimate facility where people can transition and get
Oh,
the
sure.
care and the support they need. But again, in all of the facilities, yes, all of the meals are included, all of the snacks, the medication management is included, transportation to your appointments is included, the activities, the socialness, all of those things are included. It's never like getting an invoice at the end of the month and, having hidden costs and saying, oh, this month it's a bit more. It's just a rate per month that we care for
Oh,
people.
sure.
And for some people that maybe don't understand that they could or couldn't afford assisted living when they need it, we are members with the Community Link. Used to be called Community Care of Central Wisconsin, and they abbreviated it, CCCW.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's called Community Link. But that's for people who can't afford assisted living but truly need it, truly
Oh,
have
sure.
a health need,
Uh-huh.
but they don't have the financial resources to pay
sure.
for it. So we are able to provide care for those people also, and then it's paid for through the Community Link. So I want people to understand that if they need help and they say, but I don't think I could afford assisted living, you can go to the Aging and Disability Resource Center
Oh.
right here in this building and talk to somebody about your care needs and your financial needs, and there is help available for those that are less fortunate and
Well,
can't
probably a
afford
lot
it.
of them, they don't know that, probably, do they?
I'm thinking maybe people might be watching this show and saying, oh, you know, my son or my daughter would benefit, or my mom or my dad would benefit, but they can't afford it. And there are programs out there that help you afford it. So nobody needs to be living alone where it's not safe, or it's
Right.
not social, or
Right.
they're not getting nutrition or exercise. There is help right
Right.
here in Wood County, and we're one of the providers that provide that help.
Sure, yeah. Well, see, that's the reason we got you on this talk show here. I mean, you know, you give stuff out, you know, what you do for the people, and that's what a lot of them like to know. A lot of them, they don't even, you know about it. Some do and some don't.
That's very true.
I mean, you know, because
You don't always know about it
No.
until you need it.
Right, right, and then, oh, do you do that for these people?
Right.
You know.
And then
And
it's a
maybe you
big
don't.
learning thing when you have to
Right.
get to that point of,
That's why I got you on the show. You can explain things like that to the people, because this is going to go all over the country. And
You know, Vern, there's a couple more things that Hilltop
Sure.
does that,
Okay.
again, possibly people don't know, and that is that we can provide respite care, planned or emergency. And let me give you an example. Let's say that you, I'll use you and your wife. Let's say you and your wife are living together, and I shouldn't say this because I know your wife is doing very well health-wise, but let's just pretend that you were having to care for your wife because she
Right.
needed extra help. And then what if one day you would have a stroke or a heart attack or break your hip and go into the hospital, and then your
Right.
kids might say, oh no, who's going to care for mom because
Yeah,
you were
right.
doing that?
Yeah.
Well, we can take people into any of our facilities and provide respite care. And you might say, or your kids might say, you know, we just need a place for mom for 3 days. That's okay. Or if I need a place for mom for a month, that's okay. Nobody signs in on a lease that says, I'm going to stay with Hilltop for a year or 2 years. We're only there as long as you need us. You might need us 1 day, you might need us a year
Oh, I
or
see.
10
Okay.
years.
Okay, I can.
But respite just means a temporary break that somebody needs care for.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it's a planned respite. For instance, the family might say, I've been caring for my dad every day, but next week I want to go up north. And so dad could come to one of our facilities. We can care for him just for the week or the weekend. And the
Oh, sure.
family gets the break and says, oh, we're able to go up north and we know that Hilltop is caring for
Yeah,
our dad.
right, yeah,
And
sure.
then when they come back home, dad goes back into his home and the family resumes their caring for him.
Oh, sure.
So again, and that's just a daily thing that we can do for 1 day or more. We can also do hourly respite. If somebody's caring again for a family member and they say, you know, I just would like to go to the community theater and watch the play, but I can't take mom with me. She's just not able to go. Again, mom could come to our facility for 2 or 3 hours.
Okay.
It's, you know, I don't want to say it's a service of similar to like when somebody hires a babysitter, but the babysitter goes to your home to take care of your children.
Right.
This is one where the person who needs the care comes into our home, our facility, and we care for them that way.
Oh, yeah.
And the other service that Hilltop has is Hilltop Home Care. And I'll let Mystique take a turn to talk and tell you
She's
about,
pretty quiet over there.
we'll give her a turn.
I get to talk now. Hilltop Home Care is a way for people to stay at home safely. So maybe someone has had an injury or an illness or something, and maybe they're just, you know, not able to get up and do the dishes. They aren't able to run to the grocery store, maybe because they're using a walker now or something. And so they need someone to come in, maybe do a little bit of cleaning, do a little bit of shopping for them, make some meals for them.
Oh, sure.
We're able to have someone come into their home and take care of that for them. We can also do some of those personal type cares. We can help with bathing, we can help with getting
sure.
dressed. Some of our clients, you know, use us for a couple of hours every day. Sometimes we go in once a month just to help with cleaning.
Oh, sure.
You know, sometimes you talked about going outside and getting your lawn mowed and that sort of thing.
Right.
sometimes just cleaning around the house can be challenging. Vacuum cleaners are not easy to use, you know, and if you're an older person and maybe you have that hip injury, you can't vacuum anymore. Well, you hate to ask your kids, can you come and vacuum my floor? Can you come and, you hate to be asking them all the time. So instead you can have one of our caregivers come in and they'll take care of whatever you need. And again, that's on an as-needed basis. You decide how much you want us to come in, how often, and what you want us to do for you. And that's a nice option to help people stay at home safely, to be able to get some of that care that they need, and then you don't have to go to an assisted living. It's a way for you to stay home longer, as long as you're being safe.
Absolutely. We know that most of us want to remain in our own homes as long as we can. And I don't disagree with that. So when they have a caregiver come in and they're able to stay in their home longer, they're feeling like, well, we're saving money because we're not in an assisted living, and we know home is where they want to be, and as long as it's safe and they're getting assistance, that's another way that Hilltop can provide some services.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, there's a few families that I know around here that they have their hospital bed in their house, and they have care, you know. So the care is provided for them.
Yes.
When they need it, you know, and if they're able to get up, that they get them up.
Yes.
And walk them around a little bit. They can't walk too far, you know, because they're up in years. I mean, you know, and I think that's a good way to go too, you know. But if you need a assistant living in that one, you gotta go there.
And every person is unique. Every situation is unique. What is true for one person may not be true for the next person. And so everybody needs to make their own decision. But it's important to know what your options are. As we said before, if you don't know what's available, then you can't really make a good decision. So it's important to know that home care is there, that assisted living is there, that nursing homes are there, if that's the kind of care that you need.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So we're looking at, you know, all people who in our community who have needs, who have lots of different types of needs for whatever reason. They're different ages, they're different abilities, but they need to know that there's options for them.
Sure.
You know, Vern, after your program, if anybody has any questions for Hilltop, we would invite them to call and talk to Mystique or myself, Anita, or any other person. I think I'm sitting right in front of our phone number. It's
up here too.
423-7400 is the Hilltop number, and we can talk to you about home care, about respite services, or if you want to talk about one of our assisted living homes. You know, we also invite people to stop in and take a tour and get the feeling for, you know, would this place be right for mom or dad? At the Grand Village, we have a big sign out front that says, we're open, stop in, because we just opened in December. So we are a new facility. We, of course, have apartments that are ready to rent. So people can just stop in. But one question they've asked us is, well, you're right on 54, but there's no driveway. How do we get there? So they have to know that they drive down along Home Depot, like you were going to shop at Home Depot. Turn left on 24th, and that's where our driveway comes in, right off of 24th Street. So even though you see our facility on Highway 54, our address is actually 1400 24th Street South. So again, a person could call if they're not sure how to get into the facility, but we would welcome anybody to stop by and visit. Even if you don't need assisted living and you just want to come see our movie theater and our swimming pool, we'd love to have you come in and take a peek, take a little walk around. So.
Yeah, a lot of people would like that, you know. They come in there, you know, they look around.
Yes, we've given lots of tours to people who are just curious because they watched the building going up. You know, it was, you know, during that process, and just wanted to know what it is. And I'm always happy to show people around. It's a beautiful place, and it's good to, again, get that information out to people so that then when somebody says, what is that place over by Home Depot? Oh, I took a tour. It's beautiful. You should go and see it. So.
Yeah, well, you don't know until you get there. I mean, you know,
exactly.
how it is and how it's operated or anything like that, you know.
Certainly.
Right.
And that's true of our other facilities as well. If you're looking for some sort of assisted living and you're not sure, we're happy to give tours of any of our facilities
Oh, sure.
so that, people can understand what it is and how it might help them.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, another thing is you gotta make them feel at home, and if they're not treated decent or whatever, then they feel like they should get out of there, And a lot of them, they get out them doors and they're gone. I know, I know some ones, I ain't gonna mention no names, but.
No names.
No names, and boy, they had to chase them right down the street to get them.
And sometimes, particularly with Alzheimer's, that's a
Right.
concern.
Right.
Not with every person who has it, but sometimes people get confused and they think that they want to go home and they don't understand that this is where they live now. And, or maybe they think that they have to go to work. Maybe
Well,
they were
yeah.
in a routine that I got up every day and I went to work. I have to get up, I have to go to work. And some of that feeling never goes away, even though, you have this dementia that's going on. So it's challenging sometimes to work with people and to, to help them understand. And often you can't get them to understand. They're just not
Right.
able to. So you kind of redirect and
Oh, yeah.
say,
Oh, sure.
well, let's have a cup of coffee first. And sometimes that's enough to take their mind off of wanting to leave.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So it's,
Yeah.
And we've put a lot of safety measures in place at our memory care facility. We have, our doors are called delayed egress. That means if somebody's confused and thinks they need to go home, and of course we know it's not safe for them to make it out to the sidewalk or the city streets, if they go and push on the door, it doesn't immediately open. That's called delayed egress, and usually they'll push on it and not be able to exit, and then they'll turn around and find something else to do. That's one way of keeping a person from,
Oh, sure.
wandering away and,
Oh, yeah.
and
Oh,
getting
sure.
lost or getting hurt,
Oh, yeah.
so.
I mean, our goal is to keep them safe
Oh, sure.
and to provide a safe home for them.
Yeah, right.
And so we need to make sure that everyone there, is safe.
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, and they know that too, they know when they're wanted, when they're not,
Yes.
and some of them, they kind of go overboard, and I think you know all what I'm talking about.
Sure.
I know one guy who had over at the nursing home, he didn't want to be pushed in the wheelchair, only by me. You push me.
Oh.
I know one time when a gal was there, she was going to push him, and oh boy, he said, "You don't push me." He said, "I got somebody right here."
Yes.
Well, he learned to trust you.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
see, him and I were really good buddies. I mean, and we talked a lot together. I mean, I took time with him, and I took him down to his room. Then he wanted me to put him to bed. I said, "Oh boy." I said, "I don't know if I should do this." I mean, it's
Oh, that's when you get some help, but,
right.
to
right.
be able to
But
to
see-
develop that relationship is
See, there was no
wonderful.
help around because he was on the other end,
Mhm.
So I said, "Oh boy," I said, "I don't know, I'd like to help you." "Well, I know you can." So he stood up. He stood up on his walker, And, well, what are you gonna do? Instead of leaving him fall, you're gonna get a hold of him.
Right.
I mean, so I got a hold of him, and then I got the chair out of the way, then sat him down on the bed and laid him down, just as nice as could be, But, like if there was some of them, they come and they see you do that, boy, they bawl you out.
Well,
I don't know if you do or not, but I mean,
of course, it goes back to we want to keep everyone safe. And,
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, yeah.
and so that's why it's important that staff is trained on how to help people and, we call it transferring maybe from a chair to a bed so
Oh,
that
sure.
you're right there and they're not going to fall,
Yeah.
So we don't want anyone to get hurt,
Yeah.
particularly in our facilities.
Well, they sort of trust you,
Yes.
Yes.
and that's a good thing that they do trust you.
Yes.
If they don't, you got nothing. I mean,
That's
you
right.
can't even take a hold of them. They won't let you.
That's right.
And our members learn the caregivers that are caring for them every day, and they do build that trust with them also.
Right.
And to the point where they trust them and allow the cares to be done in a
sure.
safe and efficient manner.
Oh, yeah.
You know, something just came to mind also that I'd like to mention. Several of our members are veterans.
Oh.
And there are some veteran programs available also that may help pay for some of the assistance that somebody needs in either home care or assisted living. You know, just wanting to say again that we have a lot of female clients and male clients, and in some, you know, spread out between our
sure.
5 homes. We have couples that move in together, husband and wife. And so a person doesn't feel that, we'll say if only one of that couple needs care but not both, it isn't that they have to separate and say that dad needs to go to the assisted living and mom's going to stay home, or the other way.
Right.
Mom is going to stay home and dad's going to go to the assisted living. They can move in together even if only one person needs care.
Oh.
And there's a much lower adjusted rate for the second person, who maybe is more of a community spouse that is still maybe more active and able to get out and do more things. Then
Oh, sure.
it's a very, very economical and efficient way for
Oh,
a
sure.
couple to come in. We have several couples living with us, and it's just so nice. They went from their home to their apartment, and they're still together, and one of them is receiving care, and it's just working so well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's trusting. I mean, you know, one trusts the other one.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
mean, if you gotta trust them, they trust you.
Yes.
And a lot of times, like with me, I kind of got that feeling, you know, that when I talk to somebody, I'm getting through to them. I mean, you know, it's they really like what I'm saying to them, you know, and that's the best way you get along. I mean, you know.
That's right. That's right.
I know
Listening to people.
Right, you listen to the people and you answer them the same way they talk to you, you know, about it, and you kind of put a different little spin on it. I suppose, you know, if they kind of go off on a deep end a little bit, you want to kind of bring them back. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
I mean,
sure,
you know,
sure.
it does them a lot of good. You know.
I tell you, Vern, the best part about this job, when I took this job, I wasn't quite sure what I was getting into.
Oh, sure.
And my first office was over at Hilltop of Pepper, which is our memory care facility.
Oh, yeah.
And now I'm at Grand Village most days. But the best part was getting to know all of the people
Right.
and getting to know their stories and their families and getting
yeah.
to know them as people.
Sure.
And I have all of these other friends now, and it's so neat to have this extended. It's not just people that I work with. I mean, I get to
Right.
know them too, but it's all of the people that we help care for, and that has just been marvelous
Makes
to
you feel
get
good.
to know
Makes
them.
you feel good.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
it's,
that's the important part.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what do you have? You know, everything
Right.
else is just stuff. What you have is the relationships that you build with
Right,
people.
right.
And that has been so important, and it's been wonderful. The best part of the job.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, you gotta care for them and they care for you, you know, and, you know, kind of go in, you know, together. And I think that's about the best way you can get along with them. You
Yes.
know. I know some of them, I run across some of them, boy, they're, they're really blow up, you know. Boy, I tell you.
Sometimes people can be challenging,
they
but
do, boy.
you work at it, and if you show someone kindness,
Right.
and like you said, you listen to them,
Right.
and you respect them, that
Oh,
goes a
sure.
long way
Oh,
toward
yeah.
developing that
Right.
relationship,
Right, it does. Some of them, when they get in there, they think nobody cares about them.
right?
I mean, you probably run into this problem,
We do.
I suppose, you know. Well, just, you don't care about me because I'm in here, you don't care about me, but that's not true.
Right. So
You
you
gotta-
have to show them that
Right,
you care. You can't just
yeah.
tell somebody that. You have to show them
Right.
that.
Right.
That's very.
And I'm sure that you used to show it, I mean, you know, show that you care for them and
Yeah.
help
You
them
have to
along with
you have
it.
to take time with people. You have to be able to
Yeah.
sit down and
Somebody
get to know
gotta take
them.
more time for others and then someone else too, you know, but, well, I guess that's what you're there for. I mean,
Yes.
you know, to help them along. Some of them, they don't need that much, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because I know I talked to a lot of them in the nursing homes, a lot of people. I tell you, sometimes I go room to room,
Sure.
you know.
And sometimes
boy,
that's what they need, is they just
That's
need
what
someone
they
to
need.
talk to.
That's right. When you get in there, you can't get out. They just keep on talking.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
you know.
Well, and sometimes, you know, family lives close by or friends and they're able to come and visit often.
Oh, sure.
And then other times they're not. Maybe,
Right.
you know, the kids all moved away and they only get to come back occasionally. And so then,
Right.
you know, people really do love it when people come to visit,
Oh, sure.
you know. So they're,
You know, that'd be-
we all like that. We all like it when someone comes
Oh,
to see
sure.
us and
Yeah.
make you feel special.
Oh, yeah.
Again, it's that social element that we all need through our whole lives.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. See, when you're young, you don't think of that. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but I mean, you know, I was young, you know, and, you know, I had motorcycles and stuff. You do what you want. Now, it's the other way. You can't.
Right.
It don't work. It don't work. You gotta, what I'm trying to say, you gotta rely on somebody else to help you along.
That's true.
And that's what you're there for.
That's what
Yes.
we're here for.
Absolutely.
Yep. I know quite a bit about assisted livings, and I've been into them, been to all of them, you know, playing music and that, and some of them, they come up to you, they give you such a big hug, you know. Oh, God, they just love it. I mean,
Yes.
you know, and for all old songs, I mean, You Are My Sunshine, all that, you know, oh, God, they like them.
Yes.
They sing right along with you.
Oh, yes.
You know?
You need to come and play some music for us.
Well, I'd be glad to.
That would be wonderful.
I'd be glad to come play some
We
music.
all would enjoy it, the staff members and all of our residents as well.
I'll be glad to come. I mean, you know, you invite me, I'll come.
Yes.
And I got CDs, and then I got music instruments.
Okay, very nice.
And I kind of been letting loose of the music instruments because my arms ain't so strong anymore like they used to be. Accordion, you gotta get it way out here, you know. Concertina is like this ain't that bad, you know.
Nice.
But I really enjoy playing. I played good many years, about 48, 50 years I played. Well, I'm still playing yet, but I mean with my band.
Okay.
And we got along good with people, you know. I had good players with me, very good players. I mean, they associated with everybody. They didn't think this one got better than that one, or that one got better than that one. No. I mean, we treat them all alike. And that's what I put it out to them when we first started in playing. I said, treat everybody decent, treat everybody alike. You know, we're one big family. I mean, that's the way they put it sometimes too.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
you're one big family. I
Yes,
mean, you know,
absolutely.
and you know this better than anybody. You know, the places you're working, that's a big family.
It is.
It is.
It is. And
Very much.
everybody gets along with everybody, pretty much. I mean, you know, and I call it one big family, and I join them.
Yes.
When I come and play, I join them. I mean, you know, I talk to them, you know, and
Yeah.
and some of these older ladies, I mean, you know, I really get a bang out of these. I mean, they talk sense, I tell you, you know, and they tell you a lot of their stories, what they did years ago, you know. Well, I kind of bend my ear a little bit, you know. They like that, you
Yes.
know. Yeah.
That's
You gotta give them some
important thing, too.
hope and some love,
Yes.
and that's what they like. And they'll
Absolutely.
give it back to you.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
They definitely will.
Oh, yeah, I know there's a couple of them I go to, boy, they come up and said to me, and boy, they give me a hug, I'll tell you. Gee, I didn't think they were gonna let go, you know, and,
Your wife will get jealous.
no, I don't think so. I don't think so. And I call it that they're starving for this happiness, you know, because when you come in there, when you walk in there, they don't know if you're for them, or you're going to talk to them,
Right.
or what are you going to do. They don't know that. But you got to go up and introduce yourself and talk to them, you know,
Right.
kind of joke with them a little bit, you know. Yeah, you get a smile,
Yeah.
you know, and you keep on going.
That's right.
You keep on going.
That's
I
right.
know, I fit pretty good in with that stuff. I mean, you know, I've been that way all my life, ever since in the 20s, when I started in playing music.
Yeah.
I always was good to everybody, you know.
Makes you a people person.
Yep. Yep.
Well, everybody wants that sense of belonging and appreciation. We certainly appreciate all of the members of Wisconsin
Oh,
Rapids
sure.
that have chose Hilltop, that
Oh,
we
yeah.
can provide care
Oh,
for
sure.
them. And we're appreciative of the great staff that we have.
Oh, sure.
You know, these
Yeah.
5 buildings run 24 hours a day, 365 days a
Oh,
year.
sure.
It isn't like we can say, oh, it's Christmas, we're gonna lock the doors today. No, we work every single day and have for 23 years. So we're appreciative of our
Well,
good staff.
I play Santa Claus, and I go into these homes. I mean, you know, it's really 5 minutes yet? Okay.
Well, we have Santa Claus come visit our facilities.
Do you? Good.
We've had different Santa Clauses over the years,
Okay.
but it's, again, very heartwarming. I guess we're all kids, no matter what our age is.
Oh,
You
sure.
know, I love
Yeah.
Christmas,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I love seeing Santa come, and Santa gets a few hugs, too.
Ooh, yes. How I know.
Yes.
Yeah. But I mean, you gotta be in with them people. I mean, you gotta socialize with them so that they know that you care for them.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yes, we
because
do.
they got feelings, I hear.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, you know, same as you got.
We all
and-
do, and we can't ever forget that.
Right, right, right. And I don't think you will.
Well, Vern, before we run out of time, I just
Okay.
want to thank you for allowing
Okay.
myself, Anita, and Mystique to come and talk
Sure.
to you and talk to our
Well, you
Wisconsin
can-
Rapids audience.
You can come again if you want to.
thank
Later
you.
on in a month or two, if you wanna, you know, come again and talk about different things on there, you can. It's, you don't get it all filled up in one session here.
Sure.
You know, so another 3-4 weeks, whatever, you know, I can keep a hold of you.
Great.
Okay, that would be great.
And you can come down again and visit with me, or visit with you.
Very nice.
I like that very
Well,
much.
We sure appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, just about done now? You got 3 minutes yet, okay. Okay, you can go over where your assisted livings are.
Certainly.
We got a little time now.
The Grand Village is on 24th Street. We're just north of Home Depot. The Hilltop of Pepper is on Pepper Avenue, kitty corner from Ace Hardware. The Hilltop Estate is out on Highway 73, like you're going toward Nakusa. The Alpine Terrace facility is on 25th Avenue, and the Ravenwood facility is on Gaynor Avenue.
Oh,
And if anybody wants to talk to us or has any questions, our phone number is 423-7400, 7400.
mhm.
So,
Well, you might get some calls, you
All
know,
right.
it's, you know, because this here is big widespread here, and on the TV, you're all over the place.
well, we're happy to be a part of your program.
Well, hope, you know, that I get you here, talk to you, and I like that very much. I really do. I mean, I like to talk to people.
Well, it's
So-
been nice visiting with you today.
Well, here too is that it really draws happiness to me, talking to you, and everybody else that comes here. I mean, I don't have no problems. You know, they're so nice, everybody is, and I want them to be. You know, I don't want to have them be long-faced. You know, it's just one of
No.
those things too, you know, it's, yeah. One more minute yet. So if
Well,
want
thank
to-
you for having us today.
Well,
It's been a
that's
very
okay.
nice time getting to know you a little bit
Sure.
and being able to tell more about Hilltop. We really appreciate this opportunity. And again, if anybody has any questions, give us a call. We'd be happy to show you around.
Sure. Well, we'll
You and
probably-
Dolores need to come and take a tour as well.
We will stop in, I mean, you know, and that, and,
Yes, absolutely.
and.
Come and see what it's
be-
like.
Talk to you, and, you
Nice.
know, and talk to anybody that wants to talk to me. I'll talk to anybody. I don't care who they are.
We would welcome that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, it's nice having you. We'll probably have you again in another month or so, you know, when you feel up to it. I don't know if you got all through these or not, did you? Did you get all through these?
Well, we always have more information we can talk about. We don't want.
Okay, that's what I like to hear,
Okay, great.
because we can always get you back. I'll keep in touch, you know, in another month or so. Well, I'll probably be there sooner than that, you know.
Okay.
Thank you.
All done.